Disney's Descendants movies and the accompanying franchise is firmly established with their young, and young at heart, fan base. And after 2 full-length movies and a prequel, they still want more. And Disney Channel is ready to oblige with Descendants 3. But what exactly will the Disney Channel bring to the table this time? I'm Villy, your villain princess, back to let you know what clues we have found for you and your fellow Disney Channel Descendants movies fans in the short film Under the Sea. But before we let you in on the clues contained in the short film Under the Sea, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the latest news on Descendants 3 and all other Disney Channel fandom. Number 8. Will Uma turn good? This is kind of a long shot, but still would be the ultimate reversal of fortunes and change in character. Disney loves a happy ending, but fans love pirates and their bad sides, so this flip may flop with fans. Fans love Uma's band of pirate malcontents on the sea, so while fans may be rooting for her to improve, they would miss the bad side of her and her 2 fellow favorite pirate punks. On the other hand, remember, Mal has had her villainous moments in past movies, which makes her turning totally bad into a totally real possibility, opening up a completely new plotline for Disney Channel movie fans in the future. Number 7. Hades poked his blue orb out for Mal to see, and one look in Mal's eyes tells us she seemed to recognize his underworldly face, which now make her and her fans wonder if his presence might be the reason she now has totally new superpowers. We have additional clues about that in this video, so stay tuned. But will his identity and character as Mal's father be fully and finally uncloaked? While everything in Under the Sea seems to point to the reality that Descendants 3 will be all about this Mal-Uma feud, in the end, Descendants 3 will revolve around Mal. Which brings us to Number 6. Focus on Mal. Someone has to bask in the majority of the film's spotlight, and unless Disney does a total 180, Under the Sea tells us that Mal will once again be the focus this time around in Descendants 3. Again, this may bring a mixed reaction from fans. I mean, we love Mal, but there are so many other great characters in the original Descendants movie, solid characters whose stories could be much more fully developed and give Descendants fans more than just their Mal fix. While it's a sure bet that some of these characters will make an appearance, it will be just that, short-lived views of these much-loved but seldom seen characters. Number 5. A much darker and mature look. Speaking of being the center of attention, Mal's blonde hair is gone, replaced by dark jewel tones of violet and magenta and other dark hair. Also, the brightly colored outfits of the past are giving way to a completely dark and much more grown-up image for Mal, which is to be expected. Hey, you can't be a kid forever. Considering the fans are growing up too, this isn't too far-fetched. Fans fell in love with Mal's blonde beauty, but it looks like purple and black is what Disney's best-dressed and most featured villain offspring will be wearing for Descendants 3, and that includes Mal's hair and makeup. Her makeup, hair, and costuming in Under the Sea has a decidedly less girly and more intense and mature tone to it. Definitely lets fans know that Maleficent's baby girl is all grown up now, and that could lead to trouble, and an awesome and evolving movie persona for you, the fans. So what do you think of Mal's newest look? If you prefer the idea of the permanent purple and black attack, or like the idea of Mal's previous beautiful, lighter, and ever so less ominous blonde ambition. Villy, your villain princess, happens to think they're both just magnificent, but I do like that blonde hair. Well, the purple could be nice too. Moving on. Number 4. Hades and the Underworld. Under the Sea showed us that the Mal-Uma showdown won't just mean underwater. It could also be in Hades' hot home, the dark underworld. The character of Hades may just show us around his pad, which is deeper than the sea. But this leaves fans wondering why Hades is coming out to play this time around. Could he be helping either Mal or Uma? More about that later on. Could Hades be providing one or both ladies with a boost of bad for the final battle? And exactly where will this epic showdown take place? underwater, or in the underworld? All previous bets are off, considering the previously can't-swim Mal has evolved into an underwater powerhouse, and Hades' hot hand may just be responsible. Or not. Remember, she's got 2 villain parents, but they are still Disney Channel villains. We are hoping that cool heads prevail, and it's kept kid-friendly. But the drastic changes in Mal, along with strong character developments in Uma, have ratcheted everything up a nasty notch in this battle between good and evil. Or bad and bad. Number 3. The movie soundtrack. It has yet to be released, but given Mal's freaky sign-off voice in Under the Sea, it's probably safe to say that the boppy tunes and choreography of the past movies will be dropped in favor of a talented, but darker, musical mood as well. Fans are sure that the movie will showcase great new Disney music, but the choreography? As a villain princess, well, let's just say it's hard to fight to the death and dance at the same time. And that reminds me, will it be a fight to the death? Or will both be still standing? Safe to say that Disney wants both Mal and Uma to survive the fight, but who will dominate who is open for debate, especially since Mal seems to have acquired additional superpowers, and her super bad parents are likely to blame. And what happens next? Well, that will have to be revealed in a future video. Number 2. Is Mal's dad really evil? Yeah. But the real question fans want the answer to is, if Hades is truly her dad, exactly whose side is Mal's dad on? It's hard to imagine, even in Disney's most creative moments, that anyone with the name Hades could be anything but evil. Which leads to the obvious conclusion that he is a bad father and that the king of the underworld will therefore take Uma's side rather than his own daughter's. As hard as that is for we mere mortals to grasp, fans should believe that this is a very plausible and exciting plot twist, which could leave Mal's ultimate fate at the end of the upcoming movie hanging once again, leaving you, the fans, wanting still more after Descendants 3. And number 1. Mal's freaky voice and scary eyes. This heavy-handed and strongly worded and imaged underwater ending to Disney's follow-up to Descendants 2, Under the Sea, sends the message. It's more than a hint that this upcoming movie will have a much darker tone to it. Hey, I'm a villain princess, so I should know. Most fans and parents hope that Disney will decide it should be kept exciting and kid-friendly. Since the rotten apple never falls far from the villain's tree, it should be remembered that these seemingly pristine at all times characters were reared, or not, by villain parents on a secluded isle for a reason, and they are growing up, and that doesn't exactly end well in real life. But in the world of movie magic, there's always a way to keep this more mature tone and still have a happy ending and still continue Disney's Descendants franchise going into the future, so the trade-off may be worth it for fans in the end. So there you have it, Descendants fans. Those are the top 8 clues we took away from Under the Sea. And this is Villy, your villain princess. Thanks for watching, and as always, like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss out on the latest Disney Channel news.